I remember there was a cat strapped on to an operating table. They had prongs that were opening the cat. The guts came out. And the thing I remember is, catch her! And then I was out on the ground. I woke up in a sweat. They were fanning me and I was given a granola bar. My parents came pick me up and they said, do you want to go again? And I went again, obviously. Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Kai Denise. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kai. My YouTube channel is all about how you can make your vision board come to life. I want you to recognize that you need to screw your limiting beliefs, find the empowerment within yourself, and then really that will open up the opportunities for you to live your best life and make all of your dreams come true. As I was sitting and thinking about what I want my YouTube channel to be, I really started putting a lot of thought into who is Kai? What is the philosophy of Kai? And how can she summarize that and put that in a beautiful package to share with others and hopefully just set a really strong foundation of what everybody can be getting out of watching my YouTube videos. My core belief is that anyone can achieve whatever they want to achieve. The biggest thing that separates me, I think, from other people who say you can achieve whatever you want to achieve in a really cliche way is that it takes work. It takes so much work. It takes so much intentionality. It takes having hard conversations with yourself, with the people around you. That's your family, that's your friends, that's your significant other, whoever that might be. I think that as people speak to me and as I continue to make YouTube videos, you'll hear the word intentionality a lot. Success takes intentionality. Making your dreams come true takes intentionality. Recognizing that is the key to success. So let's break down what intentionality means to me. One is having difficult conversations with yourself. Really breaking down what are your weak areas and where are your strengths. Let's talk about a very common New Year's resolution. I set a goal, let's get to the gym for 2023. What does it mean to be intentional about that decision? Lots of people are I'm going to start my day at 5 a.m. I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to get home. I'm going to shower. I'm going to eat a clean breakfast. And then I'm going to go to work. If I even thought about going to the gym at 5 a.m. or in the morning, I'm setting myself up for failure. I know that I'm not a morning person, that it is going to add so much resistance to my life trying to get to the gym in the morning, and I'm not going to feel successful. So when I'm being intentional and I'm looking at what are my challenges, where are my weaknesses, and where are my strengths, I know that getting to the gym in the morning is a weakness, and that is going to be way too challenging for me. So I know that I'm disciplined enough to go to the gym after work in the evenings. So that's how I set up my schedule. Kai now knows that she can't go to the gym in the morning, but also what kind of workouts does Kai like to do? So I hate running. Period. Running sucks. It's not for me. I would love to be a runner, but I know that if I were to say I'm going to run a mile, that's not going to set me up for success. In being intentional with myself, I know that I'm not waking up in the morning. I'm not going to wake up in the morning and go running, and that I need to find something that excites me. What type of workouts do I like to do? I love to lift, so that's what I did. I was extremely intentional and I researched a gym that is walking distance from me because, again, if I have to take the train to go to the gym for 15, 30 minutes away, I'm less likely to do that. I found a lifting gym 10-minute walk away from where I live, and it is so easy for me to get to the gym. And when I have a hard day and I don't want to get to the gym, I can tell myself it's a 10-minute walk, it's 45 minutes, you can do this, and my ass is at the gym. Another pillar in my core beliefs is accountability. Oftentimes we say find an accountability partner let's use the gym analogy again, that is going to get to the gym with you, that's going to text you, say, did you get to the gym today? I think that's great. And if you need an accountability partner, get one. That's having the challenging conversation with yourself. That's setting you up for success, and that's putting intentionality into your life. However, I think where it's even more important to have accountability is within yourself. I'm going to say that again because I think it's so powerful. Having accountability within yourself is going to allow you to be the most successful. It's harder than having somebody message you and say, did you get to the gym today? But it's going to be more rewarding, and then you're going to be able to have success in so many tiny aspects of your life when you can find accountability within yourself. The way that I find accountability within myself is by looking at my goals. I love to be strong. I love to put on clothes when I feel good. And I know that if I'm not going to the gym and I'm eating super poorly, that I'm not going to be able to have so many more positive experiences in getting ready and just existing and being out in the world. You know, my mindset can be right when I'm going to the gym. So the days that I'm like, you know what, I don't want to get to the gym, I put my goal first. I say, I want to feel good. I want to feel confident. I want to be excited to open my closet and put on clothes. And so putting my goal in front of the decisions that I make allows me to have self-accountability and get me to achieve whatever my goal may be. And then lastly, it's action. So you can have the challenging conversations, you can be intentional with yourself, you can find self-accountability within you. However, if you're not actioning against it, like, you're not going to be able to have the success. Action allows you to learn so much more about yourself. You may not know what you want, and that's okay, and don't be paralyzed by it. You will learn what you want through action. You will achieve what you want through action. Actioning will allow you to recognize, hey, I actually am not interested in this initial goal that I set for myself. If you don't know what type of workout brings you joy and consistency, don't be paralyzed by not going and working out. Like, go try yoga, go try Pilates, try lifting, try running, and you will slowly figure out what brings you joy, and it will be that much more exciting for you to achieve your goals and get to the gym and hit your, New Year's resolutions of working out. I think that I am defined by action. From literally such a young age, I've always done, and I have always thought, and I've always pivoted. I remember being like 10 years old. My dad goes, Kai, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a vet. When I was 12 years old, I went through the phone book. I called every single vet hospital and I said, hi, my name's Kai. I'm 12 years old and I want to volunteer at your veterinary clinic. The minimum age for volunteering was 16 in Idaho. And I called probably 25 places and I found one place that would allow me to come in at 12 years old and volunteer. I volunteered at this hospital from 12 to about 20 to 21. There was so much that I learned through that process. I saw so many crazy things. I was 12 years old. I was back in surgery. I saw a cat spay. I passed out. I remember there was a cat strapped on to an operating table, tied, arms out, legs out. They had prongs that were opening the cat. The guts came out. And the thing I remember is, catch her! And then I was out on the ground. I woke up in a sweat. They were fanning me and I was given a granola bar. My parents came pick me up and they said, do you want to go again? And I went again, obviously. But I just learned so much. I learned so much about what it is to be a veterinarian. I learned about, do I want to be a vet? By, 8 years in, I was getting a little fatigued. I was like, man, being a vet is not all that it's cracked up to be. The number of euthanasias that I saw was heartbreaking. When you're a kid, you think, I want to be a vet, and you're just like, I get to play with puppies and kitties all day. But it was mixed with a lot of really hard emotions. You're helping people through the last moments of seeing their pet, and they're bawling, and you're bawling, and the vet's bawling. It just wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, sunshine and rainbows, whatever the saying is. And I was slowly getting the excitement zapped out of me. How would I have known that I didn't want to be a vet without going through all of that? And lucky for me, I didn't have to go through vet schooling before I decided that I no longer wanted to be a veterinarian. Coming to terms with that was really challenging though. I was my junior year in college and I had to sit down and say for the past, almost 10 years, I envisioned myself being a vet and I don't want to do this anymore. And that was hard, but you know what? It was the most rewarding thing that I've ever done for my entire life, because look at where I am now. Like, I'm living the most perfect life that I could imagine for myself, but I only learned that through action. So how did I learn how to pivot? Well, I had a very intentional conversation with myself, and I said, where am I naturally drawn to? I decided to sign up for some elective classes within graphic design, and I was like, oh my God, I'm excited. I'm excited to go to school. I love color theory. I love the psychology behind advertising. I love creating and people engaging with it. And so therefore, I changed my degree my junior year to advertising and graphic design. I knew if I just got a graphic design major that I likely wasn't going to make the money that I wanted to. I studied advertising to have more of my secure degree, because again, I knew that I wanted to live a life that brought in a lot of money, or it was necessary to have a lot of money. So I made the intentional decision to also do advertising. I was like, okay, I need to start networking and building my resume for this new career change that I'm making. I did internships with really cool programs at Merrill College, and I just completely started building my advertising and graphic design skills and building my new resume for that. I networked for 2 years at Starbucks because that's where I thought I wanted to go. I was dedicated to moving to Seattle. I loved the graphic design that came out of Starbucks. My dream was to design the cute little gift cards at Starbucks. And the number of times I went in toured the Starbucks facility, which is amazing. I was networking with the C-suite people at Starbucks, and I applied and I never heard back, and I was so dedicated, and obviously I was bummed, but through all of that actioning, I built so many connections, and I had developed such an amazing portfolio and resume. And my college professor, actually, shout out to PDIC, had a connection with somebody at Amazon, and they said, hey, we're looking for people for this associate account executive program, would love for you to have referrals. My professor PDIC referred me to that, and shockingly, I made it through. Again, I think the reason I call this out is because through action, you learn so much, you open up more doors for yourself, and your life plays out in a way that you may not even recognize how it's going to play out. I think that everything happens for a reason. I believe in the universe. I believe in God. I believe that there is a higher power that is making a very clear path for you. Literally, I don't even think it was 3 months after I started at Amazon, Starbucks went through a ton of layoffs. The people that I was networking with had been at Starbucks for 10 years. And they were getting laid off. So I absolutely know that if I had really worked really hard and the stars aligned and I did make it into Starbucks, that I would have been laid off. So again, I think being flexible was really important, and not forcing something when even though you really, really want it to happen. I spent 4.5 years at Amazon. I learned so much about myself, and there's no way that I would be where I am today. I started in Seattle. I was I want to move to New York City. I talked with my manager. I talked to him about how I have amazing skill sets that would be valuable to moving over to the New York offices. Amazon took me from Seattle, completely paid for me to relocate to New York City. I'm literally living in the most amazing apartment tour to come. So I thank myself for taking steps, for having conversations, for telling myself to make the most out of all these experiences and learn through action so that I can develop the life that I want to achieve now. I think some of the things that I'm most proud of is that not only am I driven, am I really goal oriented, and I've had success achieving those goals, but I've also had so much fun. I have been to Italy, I have been to Thailand, I have been to Switzerland, I have been to Paris, I have spent too much money on clothes. Like, I have so much fun mixed in it. And I think it's important, as we're talking about having a success mindset, that we don't just focus so much on the work, and that we have a really, really healthy balance of play. I actually sat down yesterday with Garrett and I budgeted out, how am I going to travel? How am I going to get a massage every other week? How am I going to get a facial once a month? And how am I going to spend money on clothing? Because I work hard so that I can live hard too. I hope hearing a little bit about my core beliefs and the different pillars that I outlined today really, really resonates with you. And I hope that you can find ways to incorporate those into your life, or say like, hey, I have some of those things, and you can feel more internalized and empowered for you to achieve your goals. I think the thing that I'd love for you to do after this is to sit down and reflect, how was my first week of 2023? Did I achieve the things that I wanted to? Am I making steps to achieving the goals that I have for 2023? If you are, heck yes, I'm happy for you. I want you to continue to do that. If you aren't, that's also okay. But sit back and be like, what conversations am I not having with myself? Where am I not being intentional in those goals? Are my goals realistic for me? Am I likely to have success with the goals that I've set? Yes, no. And you don't have to change your goals. Just have the challenging conversations with yourself to say, okay, how can I be more intentional about making my goals become reality? Feel free to tell me like how you felt about the things that I said. Like, if you have a differing opinion, that's okay. If you have a different pillar in your life that is shown to be successful for you, comment it below. Like, follow, subscribe. I really should look at like how other like YouTubers in their videos so that I do that right. But thanks for joining me today.